All right. Please remain standing for the presentation of the flags and the Pledge of Allegiance, and remain standing until the honor guard has exited the gym. Ready, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may take your seats.
Good evening, everyone. It brings me so much joy to look out at the faces in this building tonight. I would also like to extend a welcome to those of you viewing the ceremony online. No matter how you are attending this ceremony, thank you for being a part of this special occasion. I'm guessing that those of you who have completed high school were grateful to make it to graduation. Well, after going through our whole senior year, not knowing whether we would have a graduation ceremony or not, grateful doesn't seem like a strong enough word to describe what my classmates and I are feeling this evening. There's no doubt the class of 2021 had a senior experience much different from any class before us. The challenges my classmates and I faced this year were far from ideal. Amidst the struggles and frustrations, however, I witnessed the persistence of my peers. Not only did we persist through this year, but we continued adding on to our growing list of achievements. Though it was not the senior year we would have hoped for, we continued to make the best of it. The class of 2021 is not defined by the circumstances of our senior year. So then, what does define Spectrum High School's class of 2021? That is the question I sought to answer. I tried identifying adjectives or phrases that could be attributed to our class as a whole. As I began brainstorming, however, individuals kept popping up in my head, each one so unique and with so much to offer. My classmates are unapologetically themselves, and it is refreshing to see. Then I realized that is Spectrum's class of 2021. Several individuals being themselves, despite all the voices trying to tell us how to act or what to think. We're still finding our voices, and we don't all make the same sounds, but when each one comes together, it creates a beautiful song. So, my classmates, as we go out from this place, continue refining your sound, and please, never stop using your voice, because your song matters. So tonight, let us acknowledge the challenges faced and celebrate the accomplishments made by Spectrum's class of 2021. It is my hope, however, that you'll remember us by the beautiful song produced from the coming together of our unique voices. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, everyone. There we go. That's the right paper. Today is a day we have waited for, never thought would come, or maybe even dreaded at times. Nevertheless, we set calendar events, countdown apps that we probably check too often some days, anxiously waiting for this moment. In order to make it to today, we have gone through the years of confusing math lessons, smartboard calibrations, biology and chemistry labs, Spanish music videos, and have endured and enjoyed the familiar smell of burnt popcorn because yet another person forgot to add water to their microwavable mac and cheese. We could not have made it to today without our teachers. Mrs. Hewitt's test challenged us to revalue our grades. Mrs. Mollett's endless notes presentations that made you write so much and so fast that your hand cramped by the third slide. The copious number of career and interest tests we took in our years of college and career readiness that sometimes told us to do something that we would never do. It once told me that I was good at making decisions, but I'm known for spending a 30-minute car ride researching and trying to decide what I want to eat, only to end up getting a kid's meal. Regardless, teachers, you all set a path before us to challenge us, help us, and guide us, but also met us with grace when we needed it most. So on behalf of the graduates, thank you. Our class had the privilege to blaze new trails. Some of us came to Spectrum in 2014 and were the guinea pigs of the 6th grade building, where we were challenged in many ways, including the organization of our very large binders. The impromptu haircut I got was also a golden memory that I will never forget. And oh, I haven't forgotten that my books didn't get carried for the whole 2 weeks. I won't name any names, but I'm still waiting. In 7th grade, we stepped foot into the high school building, and we were in for a treat. It may be due to my petite and short physique, but those hallways that had seniors in them were scary because they had their path set and you either moved or you got ran over. There was no in between. And some of us today came here in the middle of high school, thrown into the new requirements of volunteer service and our small school dynamics. Everyone knows everybody else, and that includes, but is not limited to, last names, special name spellings, and parent names too. But for all of us, the last 18 years of our lives have been spent on a path that has been mapped out for us by our parents and teachers. It was meant to teach us what we needed to know, like problem solving, no matter how frustrated it makes you, or thinking critically when you just want to finish the last short answer question. Even though I am not sure how we will use quadratic equations, I am so excited to use linear equations when I reposition a patient in a hospital bed one day. The way we moved through life was scheduled and most decisions were made for us, like the required versus choice classes for registration. But now we will go our own ways and make many of our own choices to guide the paths of our own lives. Tomorrow, we will choose what steps we take in the world and where we will go. Some of us have already decided to join the military and will be leaving for basic training soon. Some of us may be going straight into working full-time because college wasn't the best fit, or you just need a break from school, and I can't blame you for that. Some of us will find ourselves leaving our childhood homes to live at college in the fall and as the big independent humans we are. By the way, Mom, did you buy me my Spider-Man Band-Aids? Sounds good. Whatever lies ahead, I want to encourage you all to take a single step forward. I know one of the biggest reasons I was able to make it to where I am today is that I lived by the phrase, bite by bite. You will be hungry for life, experiences, and adventures. But the world is a big place that can be overwhelming. When you take a bite out of a sandwich, you don't go straight for another bite until you swallow. If you do, I am impressed because I struggle to drink from my own water bottle sometimes. The point is that you have to digest the part in order to be ready for the next one, and piece by piece, you make it to the end of the sandwich. We will face days ahead of uncertainty and heavily question if we truly know what we want or even need to do. My PSEO Intro to Psychology professor, Dr. Mork, asked the class, what can I do today? She split that question into 2 parts to ask, what can I do today to make my past self jealous? And what can I do today to make my future self grateful? Thinking about that question changes your perspective, and I encourage each one of you to reflect on that. For me personally, it makes me reflect on my action and how I care for others. It is a part of my faith that everyone should be treated with love and care, and if I am the one that can do that for them today, what is stopping me? For yourselves, I want to challenge you to think about what those questions mean for you. You may decide to take a finance class in order to understand how to balance bills and budget for cost of living, or it may be as simple as you go ahead and get ahead on an assignment, or you used a coupon when buying frozen pizza like an actual adult. When we take our next steps in life, we will often be on our own. Your life will look drastically different from the person next to you. Don't compare yourself to others. Your life is a compilation of your choices, and there is only one of you. The only person to compare yourself to in the present moment is the one you were yesterday. So move forward with confidence, and even if you lack that, fake it till you make it and take on the next bite. In the end, remember to still take that next step forward, even if you don't know what the next one after that will be. Everything I have said today is a little more than what you might find in a Pinterest quote board or 5-minute craft video on Instagram. But I hope you leave today hungry for life, what it has to offer, and take it bite by bite. I know this is officially named the Honor Student Address, but it has truly been an honor to speak in front of you, all of you today. So thank you for listening to me and my hopefully good advice to have given you all today. And my sincerest congratulations to every single one of the graduates. We made it. Thank you.
And now here to deliver this year's commencement address, it is my honor and privilege to introduce my son, Ryan Lucas, who I'm very proud of. He promised that I would keep it short and not elaborate.
Thank you, Dad, for the introduction. And I would like to thank Dan DeBruin for the invitation to deliver this commencement speech. Spectrum High School, graduating class of 2021. What an honor it is to be here with all of you this evening. 10 years ago, I was in your shoes, attending the ceremony of my own high school graduation from Spectrum's class of 2011. It's wonderful to be back, and I'm excited to share a bit of my life with you tonight. As my dad said, my name is Ryan Lucas. I'm a photojournalist, writer, and doctoral student in the Department of History and Archaeology at the University of Athens in Greece. When I was first asked to give this commencement speech, I was a bit hesitant. I mean, what can I say to a bunch of graduating students? I'm only a student myself. As I reflected more deeply on the question, I realized the best course of action was not to try to distill advice from my short decade of experience post-high school, but instead to pass on 3 pieces of advice that I've been fortunate enough to have been personally given and which I have applied in my own life this far. I also Googled what makes a good commencement speech. I was informed that great commencement speeches inspire. And nothing inspires me like some good, actionable, and practical advice. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Student to student, 3 pieces of advice I believe everyone ought to hear. But first, allow me to tell you a bit about myself and what I've been up to for the past 10 years. When I graduated from Spectrum in 2011, I was excited to go to college, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to study. So I decided to join the Minnesota Army National Guard. After graduating from basic training, finishing military police school, and attending courses at a smaller university, I found myself in the Twin Cities, enrolled in the University of Minnesota. But I still didn't know what I wanted to study yet. And that was okay. Although I was undecided about the particulars, Spectrum had equipped me with a priceless love for learning that prompted me to explore several fields of study. After another year, I had finally settled on the humanities, developing a keen interest for history and how history relates to current events, writing, and photojournalism. At the U of M, I made friends with people who shared my passions, and the professors I studied under filled me with excitement for what might lay on the horizon, should I continue to pursue my interests? Grab a water here, sorry. Trying to discover the crossroads between history, writing, and photojournalism, I took several short, international trips in which I networked with as many journalists as I could. And by the time my contract with the National Guard was over, and I had graduated from the U of M, I couldn't wait to pursue even higher education. That summer, I packed my life into 3 large bags, moved to Greece, and began a master's degree program at the University of Athens. Athens changed my life. I was surrounded by history, afternoon strolls among the ruins of the Acropolis. But I wasn't only surrounded by ancient history. I found myself right in the middle of history's very front lines, being forged by the Syrian and Iraqi refugee crisis that was, and still is, changing the face of Southeastern Europe. I started a portfolio and began working as a photojournalist by providing images to several writers who were reporting on the crisis from Greece. My experiences supplemented my academic research, which began more and more to focus on the subjects of identity and political history. Working so closely with so many refugees had a profound impact on me, and I now knew for certain that I wanted to stay in that line of work. Once my master's program was over, I faced a crossroads. Where to next? I came back to Minnesota for a little while, but within 6 months, I was gone again, having accepted a position as a photographer in the public affairs office of a U.S. Army brigade based in northern Italy. For nearly 2 years, I traveled across the European continent and beyond by providing images and writing articles related to all things concerning the U.S. Army in Europe, from force modernization to the training of NATO allies in Europe and the Middle East, to the response to COVID-19. I've been published in the New York Times International Edition in Greece, the National Herald in New York City, Business Insider, the Army Times, Stars and Stripes, CNBC, United Press International, the Modern War Institute, and the media wings of the United States Army and the Department of Defense, to name a few. Last year, I decided to temporarily move journalism to the back burner and head back, once again, into academia. Enrolled in the University of Athens, I'm now writing a doctoral dissertation, which I will defend in several years' time, and I couldn't be more excited. Additionally, I'm working on my first novel, which I hope to publish sometime next year. So enough of me. On to the advice. All 3 pieces of advice I want to give you tonight have been personally given to me by incredible people that I've had the great fortune of coming across on my journey over the past 10 years. The first piece of advice came to me from a National Geographic photographer who I met very, very early on. I asked her what advice she could give to a young photojournalist with almost no experience like myself. Her response: get out of your comfort zone. Comfort zones are a strange thing. What's comfortable for one person might be absolutely uncomfortable for another. They are, by their nature, subjective phenomena, as we all experience comfort and discomfort differently, based on our unique experiences and paradigms. The benefit of discomfort zones is not found in some quality of the place that can be mined like a resource from the earth. The benefits, rather, exist in the way we experience the discomfort itself. Discomfort yields growth. Discomfort yields invaluable experiences that change the way we relate to and navigate our environments. Nobody writes books based on their comfortable experiences. Nobody changes the world through comfortable circumstances. Nobody wants to follow the person who has lived comfortably their entire life. It's important to remember, however, that discomfort does not need to be found on the other side of the world. It can be found right here, in accepting a challenging new job, or deciding to change your major in college, or befriending the person that nobody wants to be friends with. Discomfort is not in short supply in this world. If you seek it out, you'll find that your personal and professional growth will wildly outpace that of your peers who stay confined to their comfort zones. The second piece of advice came to me from a journalist for the London Times who was reporting on the war in eastern Ukraine in 2016. I met him very randomly while he was on vacation in Munich, Germany. I was in Europe to photograph a wedding proposal in Florence, and I was taking the time to backpack several countries. We went out for dinner the night that we met. I asked him all about his work in Ukraine, how he got to where he was, and what his plans were for the future. I told him that my plans were to get more into photojournalism once I was finished with my bachelor's degree. But for now, for the time being, I was photographing weddings, and I was quite content with it. I made decent money, and photographing weddings gave me the flexibility to focus on school. This was his reply. You're never going to be some magnum photographer if you keep photographing weddings. That statement stuck with me. I didn't want to believe it. I loved weddings, and I thought that I could balance them alongside the field of photojournalism. But I quickly realized that he was right. Trying to balance so many skills only makes you a jack of multiple trades and not a master of one. His advice can be boiled down to this. When you're chasing something, chase it. When you identify a goal, pursue it without getting distracted by too many other things. You're allowed to change your mind about what you want to pursue. That's only natural, and it will happen to you many times, I'm sure. But when you're chasing something you want, get after it. Keep it in focus. Never let it out of your field of view. I have a dear friend who went to college to study chemistry. He very quickly realized that he would rather have chosen physics, but he decided not to change his major. Nearly 8 years later, he still has not graduated with a degree in chemistry because he spends all of his time studying physics. If he had simply changed his major, he could have graduated with degrees in both fields by now. When you're chasing something, chase it. 4.5 months after my chance encounter with the journalist in Munich, I was on a plane en route to Kiev, Ukraine, and I stopped booking weddings the same year. The third and final piece of advice. This advice came to me from a veteran of the Vietnam conflict. He experienced some of the very worst things a human can experience on this planet, and he wrote a book about it. I read the book while I was in college, and it was gut-wrenching. A few years later, I heard that he was going to be speaking at the opening of a new exhibit at a local museum. I was very eager to meet him. I brought my copy of his book, and after he spoke, I approached him and introduced myself. He was kind to me and humble. He gladly signed my copy of his book. When I opened the book later to see what he had written, this was his simple advice. Treasure each moment. 3 words that are incredibly easy to forget and incredibly difficult to implement. You're going to find yourselves in situations that aren't fun. You're going to find yourselves up against what seem to be impossible circumstances. You're going to face difficult decisions. When I look back on those times in my life, those times when I truly was outside of my comfort zone, I realized that those seasons were actually quite wonderful in their own way. They were some of the most formative, the most challenging, and the most enlightening experiences of my life. When you find yourselves in those situations, remember to treasure them, for they are fleeting. So there it is. Three pieces of advice that I wanted to share with you today. Get out of your comfort zone. When you're chasing something, chase it, and treasure each moment. I want to end by thanking all of you for listening to me. I know you're excited to get on with this ceremony and finally graduate, but I greatly enjoyed having the opportunity to speak with you. I want to congratulate all of you on a job well done. Graduating high school is something to be very proud of. I want to recognize my dad, chairman of the board here at Spectrum High School. For 15 years, he has steered this school in the right direction, and he has helped make it what it is today. Nice work to the entire board, all the faculty, and all the staff. I want to recognize my mom, and I want to recognize my fiancée, Georgia, who I stole away from Italy last year, and she's in the front row. So, congratulations again to every single one of you, including Judah Rogers, who I have been specifically requested to shout out tonight. So there you go, Judah. Congratulations, everyone. Again, good night.
Thank you, Ryan, for that challenge. It's my pleasure tonight to announce Spectrum High School Senior Spirit Awards to our selected 12th grade students. The Spirit Award is given by the faculty, staff, and the administration to recognize those graduates who have demonstrated true spirit through their dedication to service, perseverance, integrity, responsibility, intrinsic motivation, and the transforming of the school's climate. Spirit is manifested in many ways. And although some of these ways are through traditional school activities, participation, this award extends far beyond school to include student leadership through community involvement, work responsibilities, and family commitment. So Spectrum High School recognizes the impact that student leaders make both in and out of the classroom. It is our privilege to recognize and applaud each of these students through the Spectrum High School Spirit Award. So as your name is called, please make your way up to the stage to receive your plaque and remain standing on the stage to have a group picture. Here are the recipients. Benjamin Bergley. Bailey Brown. Thomas DeBoer. Emily Dopp. Joseph Kettleholt. Addison Westemeyer. Come on, Eddie. All right, if they could get together for a group picture. Congratulations, seniors. Now, I would like to invite Spectrum High School's chairman of the board to the podium again. And as a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, Mr. Lucas will be recognizing those graduates entering the armed forces and acknowledging scholarships. So, Mr. Lucas.
Welcome. This year, the class of 2021 has 6 seniors who have indicated that they plan to join the armed forces following graduation. So when I say your name, please stand to be recognized. Jonah Bandemer, United States Marines. Hoorah! Leah Burney, United States Army National Guard. Jacob DeMond, United States Navy. Caleb, is it Gangle or Gangle? Gangle, United States Navy. Xavier Groth, United States Marines. Hoorah. And Zachary Reese, United States Air Force. Now I'd like to ask that anyone who has served or is currently serving, please stand to be recognized. We're very proud of your service. Y'all may be seated. Thank you. Now I'd like to recognize those local businesses that support graduates through scholarships. They are First Bank of Elk River, Three Rivers Community Foundation, Lions Club of Elk River, Lions Club of Rogers, Zimmerman Fire Department, Elk River Rotary, Officer Besser Award, and Dave Lucas Consulting. Thank you for your generosity and continued support of those graduates. Listed in your program, you'll find all the scholarships that have been awarded to this year's class of 2021. Finally, I would like to ask Spectrum School Counselor Mr. Blake Mays to please come to the podium for the presentation of the Outstanding Student Scholars. Mr. Mays.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. Leland, Spectrum's high school principal, and our school counselors, Mrs. Scott and Mrs. Snodgrass, and I would now like to recognize the following students for their high academic achievement. Would the following students please stand to be recognized? Leah Burney. Jacob DeMond. And Kayla Nijelski. These students have been awarded the Minnesota Transfer Curriculum, which is comprised of 10 goal areas, in which a student must complete at least 40 college credits. You may be seated. The class of 2021 has 11 graduates who have earned an AA degree concurrent with their high school diploma. An AA degree is earned by obtaining 20 credits beyond the requirements of the Minnesota Transfer Curriculum, or 60 college credits. Would the following students please stand to be recognized for achieving their AA degree? Please hold your applause until the end. Lisa Allgard, Benjamin Bergley, Bailey Brown, Ella Burfind, Abigail Debus, Emily Dopp, Rachel Johnson, Zachary Knapp, Elizabeth McCoy, Morgan Novotny, and Lauren Peckham. You may applause. You may be seated. Our next section of outstanding student scholars includes those who have completed at least 40 college credits, which is equal to completing 1 1/2 years of college. The number of college credits earned by each of these students is noted in your program. Would all the students who are wearing a purple cord in honor of your outstanding achievement please stand to be recognized with our applause? You guys may be seated. Collectively, the Spectrum High School class of 2021 has earned an impressive 2,434 total college credits. Based on the average cost of college credits at a 4-year public college or university in the United States, this equates to a savings in college tuition of approximately $964,000. We are extremely proud of your efforts. Congratulations, class of 2021. Now, would Mr. Leland please come to the podium for the presentation of the graduates? Mr. Leland?
And now, on behalf of Mr. DeBruin, Spectrum's Executive Director, and the staff and administration, to the school board of Spectrum High School. These students, who, having completed all graduation coursework as required by the state of Minnesota, are hereby presented to you for the conferment of their diploma.
You guys ready for this? All right. Let's get this show going here. All right. Elias Alexander Abera. Lisa Ann Olgard. Gavin Thomas Anderson. Jonah Ray Bandemer. Anastasia Renee Benassi. Benjamin Walter Bergley. Dominic James Bitson. Shelby Joe Bray. Sydney Ann Sprague Brettenson. Bailey Jean Brown. Erica Rose Bruckner. Ella Linkert Burfind. Leah Victoria Burney. Brendan David Conroy. Frances Jean Dahl. Tracelyn Janelle DeHaan. Abigail Grace Debus. Thomas Mark DeBoer. Jacob Douglas DeMond. Isabel Dillon. Emily Joyce Dopp. Dylan James Ellison. Adrian Marie Foal. Carlotta Gamberkurta. Did I butcher that? Caleb Edward Gangal. Amara Jean Greenberg. Xavier Michael Groth. Harrison Clark Grady. Olivia Claire Guzzi. Abram Crawford Harvey. Alia Evelyn Hitchcock. Brady Benjamin Jakubiak. Rachel Victoria Johnson. Jack Adam Kaluza. Joseph Randolph Kettleholt. Cole Timothy Colleen. Zach Lewis Knapp. Ella Marie Kring. Lucas Stanley Lamberg. Olivia Liberty Larson. Peter John Larson. Madeline Grace Lowenstein. Molly Ellen Majors. Elizabeth Joyce McCoy. Lucas Paul Meyer. William David Miltich. Madison Joy Moylan. Kayla Irene Nijelski. Morgan Lee Novotny. Catherine Sarah Rose Olson. William David Orton. Jonah and Cabo Palm. Jaden August Pearson. Lauren Emily Peckham. Jaden Marlis Potter. Ranier Kirill Ratke. Daniel Jonathan Reed. Zachary Raymond Reese. Judah Isaac Rogers. Faith Marie Rowley. Dylan Kenneth Rosansky. Logan Walter Schumacher. Olivia Grace Selly. Grace Elizabeth Sepulveda. Dylan Michael Smith. Samara Joan Sprague. Adam Charles Trample. Jackson James Wachnitz. Tyler Douglas Walls. Addison Roselle Westmeyer. Ari Roan Wilson. And finally, Aaron James Zebarth.
Roses carry many meanings, such as love, honor, faith, wisdom, devotion, and timelessness. We would now like to take this opportunity for our graduates to express their love and appreciation to their families for the faith that you have shown and for all that you have done to help them get to this point in their education and their lives. Graduates, please find your family to present your gift of gratitude, and then quickly make your way back to your seat. Prior to our final presentation of graduates, I would like to share a few instructions. First, on behalf of Mr. DeBruin, Spectrum's Executive Director, who was unable to be with us this evening due to a family emergency, and Spectrum's staff and administration, I want to thank you for your patience and understanding as Spectrum worked to provide a special ceremony to honor our graduates while continuing to follow all of the requirements from the state. Once the class has been presented and the music begins, we ask that all audience members exit through the northwest gym door behind you and make your way to your vehicles in preparation for cheering on our graduates in the parade. As required by state guidelines, we ask that you please wait to connect with your graduate until after the parade. This will also allow us to get the parade started as quickly as possible. Graduates, when the processional music begins, you may remain standing or take a seat and wait for your row to be dismissed by the ushers. You will then proceed out, stop to have your formal picture taken, and drop off any honor cords or stoles you chose to purchase. But remember to keep the purple and red cords as a gift from Spectrum. You will then proceed out the southwest door and get into your car and in preparation for the parade that will follow. At this time, I would ask that all audience members please stand and face our graduates to honor them as I present the class this evening. Graduates, please stand. At this time, please transfer your tassel from the right to the left. And ladies and gentlemen, I have the distinct honor of presenting to you faculty, staff, school board, parents, families, and friends, Spectrum High School's class of 2021. Congratulations.